So children, we have started the chapter separation of substances, and we have read about pure substances and mixtures. We have understood what we mean by pure substances and water mixtures, and also we have read about the different types of pure substances and the different types of mixtures. In pure substances, we have read about elements and compounds, and in mixture, we have read about homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. And then we have read about the need to separate different substances from a mixture. Today, we will read about the different methods of separation. There are different methods of separation of the impurities from the pure substances. The first one that we are going to discuss is called hand picking. Hand picking is the method in which the substance is in a mixture can be separated by just picking them out with the help of hand from the mixture, and this process is called hand picking. So in this process we just use our hands and we just pick out the impurities from the mixture. Hand picking is a method to remove slightly larger impurities like pieces of dirt that is present in the mixture. There may be stone, there may be husk from substances like wheat, rice and pulses, and thus we make the mixture free from impurities and get the food items and can use them safely. The next method of separation is called threshing. Threshing is the process of loosening the edible part of the grain. Edible part means the part we eat from the chaff to which it is attached. So threshing is the process by which we just separate the chaff from the grains. It is the step in grain preparation after reaping. So after harvesting we cut down the ripened crop and bring it, and by the process of threshing we just separate the chaff from the grain. Threshing does not remove the bran from the grain. What is bran? Bran is the outer covering of the grain. So by threshing we cannot remove the bran. We need some other method to remove the bran. Threshing may be done by beating the grain using a threshing floor, or we can use a flail. You can see in the two pictures there are two methods which have been shown in the process of threshing. In one, the person is beating in the threshing floor, and in the other, a flail has been used to carry on the process of threshing. So what we have learned, threshing is the process by which we can separate the grains from the chaff. Mainly it is done by beating on a surface. By the process of beating, the grains are loosened from the stalk and the grains are separated from the stalk of the harvested plant. The next process of separation is called winnowing. Winnowing is the method in which the heavier components of the mixture are separated from the lighter substances with the action of wind. With the help of wind, this word is very important because if there is no wind, the winnowing process cannot be carried out. So It is mainly a process where we are using the force of wind to separate the heavier components of a mixture from the lighter components. You can see in the picture a person is standing over here, and with the help of a tray he is just dropping the grains along with the bran, along with the husk. What happens? The heavier grains just getting down right at the bottom, and the lighter bran, they are blown away by the action of wind, and they are getting deposited far away from the place of grain, and thus you can see both the substances, that is the bran and the grains, are getting separated by the process of winnowing. The word winnow is originated from the Old English word which is called wind vane, and which means separation of mixture through wind. So what we have learned, winnowing is mainly a process by which we use the wind force to separate the heavier particles from the lighter one. You can see over here in the left hand side picture, that is the mixture is gently poured and the wind is coming from one side. So what happens? Due to the wind, the chaff is getting separated and the grains are dropping right into the container, and thus the grains are separated from the chaff. The next process of separation is known as sieving. In everyday life, you all have seen that your mother is using a sieve to separate out some larger particles from the finer particles. You can see here in the picture, the left hand side picture, that there is a strainer in the hand of the person, and inside it there is a mixture which contains some bigger impurities, and by the process of straining, or better is called sieving, the finer particles, that is the flour, is getting down into the container below, leaving the bigger impurities in the strainer. In the right hand side you can see there are different types of strainer by which we can do the process of sieving. There are different size of particles also. The biggest one is less than the biggest, and like that they are going to the finer. So we are using different kinds of strainer to sieve all these particles. According to the size of impurities, we are taking different kinds of sieve to separate the bigger particles from the smaller particles. So, sieving is defined as a method in which two or more components of different size are separated from a mixture on the basis of their different sizes. So what we have learned today? We have learned about the different methods such as sieving. We have also learned about winnowing. We have also learned about threshing, and also we have learned about hand picking. In the next class, we will discuss on the other process of separation. Thank you, children.